Hello everyone, welcome to channel Qtomation. In last session, we have seen how to download and install the Jenkins. We can install the Jenkins by using direct MSI file of Windows installer, or you can also download generic.war file, that is jenkins.war file, and then we can simply start the Jenkins by using command prompt. Inside the command prompt, we have to first go to the location where we have placed jenkins.war file, and we have to simply execute this command java-jar jenkins.war. It will start the Jenkins, and if you see here, it is already up and running. After that, Jenkins is a web application, so we can open it on our local server. So if you simply place localhost 8080, it should start the Jenkins. On localhost 8080 port, you can log in. So in the previous session, we have created one user by using admin credentials. If you click on sign in, it will sign in into the Jenkins. It will show you the dashboard. So it is performing the sign in option, and once you sign in, we can see this screen. And also in our GitHub project, we have also pushed our code in GitHub repository. So this is our GitHub project which we have created, and we have pushed our code. So inside this code, if you see, this is the GitHub project URL. In today's session, we will see how we can run the tests using Jenkins. How we can run the test using Jenkins. So we first need this project URL. This is our GitHub project URL for NOP Commerce project. I am just noting down this project URL here. Now we will step by step see how we can perform test execution using Jenkins. This is the GitHub project URL which we will require. After that, we have to go to Jenkins dashboard. So this is our Jenkins dashboard. What is the first step now is we have to click on new item. We have to click on new item. After you create, we can give any name here. So I am just going to give NOP commerce underscore Selenium Python project. So this is the name of the item. Then select freestyle project, click on OK. It is creating the new job for us. Yeah, so now it has completed the creation. So what is the step which we have followed? We have to create new item in Jenkins dashboard, enter the name, freestyle project, and select OK. Then we have to go to configurations page and enter the description of project. So we have to go to configuration. This is description field. It is optional. So I am just putting some text. This is NOP commerce project. So we can put any optional text here. Then you don't have to select anything here. Just go to, what is the next step? Just go to configurations page and we have entered description of the project. After that, select source code management. Inside that, select Git option. So here if you scroll down, you can see source code management option. Select Git, and here we have to provide the GitHub project URL. Here we have to provide GitHub project URL. So this is our GitHub project URL. So I am just copying it, and then let's provide that URL into repository URL. After providing this URL, if you see credentials, we don't have to put anything. Now error is gone. So what is the next step is we have provided GitHub project URL. Then go to build, add build setup. Inside that, execute Windows batch command. Now here, after putting the repository URL, we just have to go to build environment, not here. What is the next step? Build, add build step, execute Windows batch command. So if you see, we have put the git URL. This is the branch name. Here build steps option. If you see build step options, you just have to select add build set step. Just select add build step, and from this add build step option, we have to select execute Windows batch command option. If you see what are the steps we have followed so far, we have noted down GitHub project URL. Inside the Jenkins dashboard, we have selected create new item. We have provided name to that item. We have selected freestyle project, then clicked on OK. Then go to configurations page. We have entered some description of the project, that is optional field. Then we have scrolled down to source code management, selected Git option, and then we have to provide GitHub project URL there. After that, we have selected build, add build step, execute Windows batch command option. And inside this, we can put run.batch. So if you see build steps, we are going to execute Windows batch command. And in our project, if you see, this is our GitHub project. Inside our GitHub project, if you remember in one of the session, we have executed the test cases by using run.bat file. So inside our project, we have run.bat file. So we just have to, we can put this command also. If you want, you can simply put this command here. That will also work. Or since we are going to execute run.bat, we can simply put run.bat file here. So it will execute this run.bat file, which eventually going to execute the command which we have mentioned in our run.bat file. We can directly put this command as well. So depending on the requirement, which command you want to execute, you can simply put that command as well. So I am just putting run.bat. After putting run.bat, what is the next step? Apply and save. So after putting run.bat, you just have to click on apply and save. We can also add post build action. If you see, there is an option called post build action. So in real time environment, what DevOps team can do, for example, after successful build, they want to send email notification. So they can select email notification option. But for that, in real time project, we need SMTP server details, port number, etc. Since we are using local setup, we are not going to do that, but in real time project, this setting can be used. So post build, what action we have to take, that we can select from here. Currently, I am not selecting anything. I am just clicking on apply and then save. We are just clicking apply and then save. So now if you see in our dashboard, if you go to dashboard, you will see the item project created for you. You will see the project is created for you. This is the job which we can build. We can execute it. But before that, one small configuration we have to add. Before that, we have to go to project dashboard, manage Jenkins, global tool configurations. So where we have to go exactly is manage Jenkins. We have to provide git URL. So manage git URL. So inside the manage Jenkins, we have to select, we have to first go to manage Jenkins, and inside the manage Jenkins, we have to select global tool configurations. We have to select global tool configurations. So here we have to select global tool configuration. So that option is not there. We can simply select tools options. If you see, there is tools options. Just select tools options. That is basically tool configurations. There is some network issue, so it is loading the tool configuration window. Yeah, so this is now tool configuration. So what we have done, we have gone to project dashboard. Inside that tools, inside the tool section, we have to select Git section. Inside the tool, if you see, inside the tools, there is a Git section. Here we have to provide some name and we have to provide path to Git executable file. We have to provide the path to Git executable. So inside our system, if you see, we have to provide the path to Git executable file. So inside my system, C drive, program files, Git folder, inside that binary, Git binary. So this is the path I have to provide. So I'm just copying this path. So we have to provide path up to Git executable file. Copy as path, and that path we have to provide here. Git.executable file path. After providing this path, so we have to take note of one more thing. Since we are using this project for our practice purpose, we have installed Jenkins in our system. We have also have Git in our same system, that is our local system. But when you are working in any company in real-time project, where the Jenkins will be executed, so Jenkins will be present on DevOps machine. In real-time organization, Jenkins will be running on DevOps machines. So in that situation, we will be accessing the Jenkins via URL. So DevOps team will provide you one URL via which we can access the Jenkins dashboard. So in that situation, that Git executable file URL will not be our local file path. That will be the path for Jenkins machine. So that git.executable path will be present on that Jenkins machine, where DevOps machine, right? So whatever the DevOps machine is there, DevOps server is there, on that machine that git executable file path will be there. So here we are providing the local path for the git executable, but in real time situation, we don't have to provide the local machine path there. So in our case, we have Jenkins and Git installed in the same machine. So we are putting that local machine Git executable URL. So if you see, here we are putting the local machine's Git executable URL. But in real-time environment, this URL will be present on DevOps machine. So that will be DevOps machine's URL. But here we can put this URL. And after that, what is the next step? Just save this. We have to just apply and save. We just have to click on apply and then we have to click on save. That's it. So our configuration is done. So now if you go to our project, let's go to dashboard, and now we have to execute this project. So if you see, there is a play button here. So we can simply go to this project. This is basically Jenkins job which we can execute. And inside that, what we can do, once you click on it, we can simply build this project. If you see, there is a build now option. If you select this build now option, build will start executing. So I am just clicking on build now. You can see the progress bar here. You can see the progress bar here. And once you click on this progress bar, if you see, let's click on this progress bar, it will start executing the test cases. So it will start executing the test cases. So now it should print the logs as well. So it is executing the project. Since it's the first time, it's taking some time. Also there is some network issue here, but it should start the test execution now. So if you see, due to some reason, it has failed. So if we see the error, we are getting some error here. It is saying that system cannot find the path specified. That means we have to first put the path of the project as well in our configuration. So to solve this error, what we can do is, we can go back to our Jenkins job. Let me just sign in again. So we have signed in. Now let's go to configure. So we have to go to configure option. If you remember, inside this configuration, we have put run.bat. So if you see, earlier we had only run.bat, but we haven't added any project path here. So we have to do, what we have to do is, to solve that error, we have to add the project path. So if you see, the project path is, I will just go to the project in my workspace. What is the project path here? I will just copy the project path. I am just copying the project path, and I will just put change directory cd command, and after cd command I am just adding path of the project, and then I can simply click on save, and now we can execute the build once again. So if I click on build now it should start the test execution. Once I click the build now, you can see the progress in the build console output. In this output, now test execution is already started. So it will launch the browser. If you see, it has already collected 8 items, 5 deselected, because in our run.bat we had that command. So it is starting the test execution. If you see, it has launched the browser. After launching the browser, it is starting the test execution. So first test is getting executed. It is creating a new user, new customer creation. That was the test case. But this time we are running these test cases by using Jenkins. So first test case is passed. Then it will start executing the second test case. So second test case is also passed. If you see, you can see the loggers. In the logs, we can also see that test cases are passed. Now it is executing the third test case. Third test case is for searching the user. So it will perform the third test case as well. If you see, all the three test cases are passed. And this time we executed the test cases via Jenkins. So now let's go back to revision one more time. So what we have done is, this was our GitHub project URL. Then we have created a new item in our GitHub project. We have entered the name freestyle project. Then inside the configurations, if you remember, inside the configurations, we have done a configuration. So inside this configuration, what we have done is, if you remember, we have added description of the project. Then we have added the repository URL, git repository URL, which we have added here. This is the URL of our GitHub project. And then in command, we are executing our run.bat file. So this is how we can execute our test cases by using Jenkins. So these are the different things which you have seen. So in command, we have to put cd path of the project and then run.bat. There are post build actions, but that we are not using currently. In real time project, it can be used. And also we can see the logs as well. So if you see on the Jenkins setup, when you go to the build, if you see the previous builds, all the logs are generated. So build is successful. If you see at the end, it is showing finished and success. So build is successful. And if you want to see the reports, you can see the reports as well. Just go to the reports folder, select the reports, open with, you can select any browser. It will open the report in Firefox now. So you can see the information about the execution. It is showing build number, build ID, build URL, job name. This is Jenkins specific, the job name which we have created, URL of the Jenkins, workspace. This is the workspace from where our project got executed, and other information is also present. So we have to remember that in our case, Jenkins was installed in our local machine, as well as the project was also present in our local system. But in real-time project, whenever you will work in any organization, DevOps team will be providing you the URL. So it will be present in the DevOps. So Jenkins will be installed in the DevOps machines. So they will be having the server, and on that server machines, Jenkins will be installed. And they will provide you one simple URL for the accessing Jenkins. So setup is mostly done by DevOps team, and as a tester, we just have to execute the job. So we can directly log into Jenkins URL provided by the DevOps team. You can log into that and you can execute the job if you want to perform the automation testing. So those are some configuration which might change in real-time projects, but it's better to have some understanding around it. In our case, it was the local machine. So we are executing Jenkins via our local machine only. and our projects are also present in our local machine. Git is also present in our local machine. So according to that, we have to change configuration setting. Because also one more thing is, in DevOps environment, it will be executed in headless mode in backend, because they don't need actual UI execution on their machine. They are interested only in status of the test cases, how many test cases are passed, how many are failed, and whether build is successfully created or not. So that's why they will be executing the test cases in headless mode. In our case, we have seen it was launching the browser. So as a tester, it's a good practice to see actual execution on UI as well. And if you install the Jenkins via Windows installer, we can run in headless mode as well. So currently when we did the execution, when we executed the Jenkins job, it was in UI mode. So it was not in headless mode. So headless mode will not launch any browser. It will just perform the test in the backend. So as now we are running the test using Jenkins, which is using GitHub URL of project. So whenever new test cases are added, it will run automatically, as it will get updated code from GitHub repository. So let's say tomorrow we add some more test cases or make modifications in our current test cases. What we can do is we can simply push the code to GitHub repository, and whenever we execute the code via Jenkins, it will automatically get the GitHub updated project, right? So we are updating code in our GitHub project. So it is always updated, and Jenkins will always pick that code by using that project URL which we have configured in our configurations. So that's why this is the end-to-end flow of our framework. So if you want to revise one more time, we have started, if you remember, we have started our project long time back by using Selenium pytest page object model hybrid framework creation. We first understood the application, we have selected the test cases, then we have created a new project and installed all the required plugins. This is all covered in our previous sessions. Then we have created organizing folder structure of the page object, base pages, test cases, reports, test data, screenshot, logs, utilities, file, etc. So we have created the folder structure. Then we have created our first base page and first test case for admin login page. Then we have also seen how to capture screenshots on failure of test cases. We have also added common values reading from config.ini file. Then we have also seen how to add logs in our project. Then we have seen how to run tests on specific browsers, and after that how to run test cases parallelly using pytest exist plugin. Then we have also added generating HTML reports using pytest HTML plugin. And then we have also seen data-driven test cases by using OpenPyXL. And also we have added some more test cases for our practice purpose. We have also seen how to group the test cases by using marker. Let's say pytest regression marker or sanity marker, etc. We have also seen how to run the test cases by using run.bat file. And after that we have pushed our code to local repository and then GitHub repository. After pushing it to GitHub repository, we have also configured Jenkins, and now we have seen how to execute the code by using Jenkins as well. So this is all about entire framework which we have created. So always remember, in any framework, it will be a recurring effort. So you can still modify lots of things in our existing framework as well. That totally depends on how you want to implement the end-to-end framework. There can be possibility that you can add some of the custom modifications in your framework as well. So wherever possible, you can optimize the code. Wherever possible, you can change your code. At the end, the goal should be the test execution should work properly in optimized way. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you like this series. Kindly share this channel. Keep reading, keep watching this video, keep practicing this. Always remember, keep learning and keep growing. Thanks for watching this video one more time.